Oh, I know it's been too long, but the boys are back.
Damn,
We had to
Tatum
take
went
a,
off. Oh shit, my
we
bad.
had to take a little break. You know, we were busy. I was busy. We took a little break on that Vegas last week, but we
AKA.
back. UFC 308, bro.
Yes, sir. A big Abu Dhabi card. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Hamzat
What is
Robert
it? Riyadh
Whittaker.
season again?
Nah, it's that's how I made the mistake last time, but it's Abu Dhabi, not Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, same difference, no racial.
That's racist.
But yeah, man, it's gonna be early for those in the West Coast. The prelims start at 7 a.m. Early
Damn.
prelims, so tune in. Main cards at 10 a.m. So it's gonna be lit. But let's recap real quick. We're gonna recap the 2 cards ago. Vegas 98 Apex, not the last week, the week before, because we actually gave out some picks. But you know, we were both positive, man. So that's a win. Nesto went 2-2 in that card, plus 1.3 units. You hit Brandon Royval at plus 220.
Hey.
So big one. As we know, like Tyra, if you guys recall, like he's still a good prospect, but Royval is solid. Like
I
he's
mean, the thing was Tyra, you know what you got to do. You got to be able to sprawl and brawl. You just got to
yeah.
defend the takedown and have your hands right, and you'll win that fight.
And you'll say Royval is well rounded, you know, and he could grapple, he could scramble, he could strike, and better striker than Tyra at least.
That's what won him the fight. That third round, he beat the brakes off him.
Yeah, more experience, and then also the price tag plus 220. You know what I mean? Like for sure, that's a good price. And then the parlay you got was Garimbo, Dawson, and Timarov at plus 110. So we hit that one. The ones you missed were other underdogs here: Brad Tavares plus 155 and Alex
Which
Morono.
I feel like both of them got played too. Both split decision losses. Could have gone either
Yeah,
way.
Morono was close, but ZBH, I was gonna side with Morono, and luckily I didn't bet on it because I thought the price was good, but I felt like Morono lost. Tavares one was close for sure. But yeah, man, those were some plus money, good plus money. I went 2-1. My other play was Abdul Razak Al Hassan that got canceled. But I got Julia Pilastri minus 125 and Clayton Carpenter minus 205 here. And then the parlay buster, I had Dawson, Timarov, and Tyra, which was the loser. But I still got plus 1 unit there, so I'll take any plus at this point because we're getting closer to the end of the year, man. There's only like some odd more events because they stopped doing the events by Christmas time, pretty much like December. You only get like one event or something. So, but we move on. We got a big event here, like we talked about 308 in Saudi. And we got the headliners, bro. Let me share this with y'all. The headliner is big. This is Ilya Topuria against Max Bless Holloway, baby. Let's go. The best is blessed. And then we got your boy Khamzat Chimaev against Robert Forrest
FTP.
Whittaker. Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see if Chimaev even makes it. You know how he looks on the scales, how he looks sick, whatever.
Still got a few days to time will tell with that guy.
Yeah, because we'll talk about it when we get to that fight. But yeah, there's a lot of controversy.
They made it 5 rounds too, right?
Yep, 5-round co-main event. That favors Robert Whittaker for sure. You know, what was that fight that? It was against Gilbert Burns, right? Where we felt like if it was a 5-rounder, Khamzat could have lost.
Yep. I mean, even with Usman, if it was a 5 rounds,
thing.
Usman would have took him out. I feel like the guy is insane. The first 5 minutes, especially the first 1 or 2 minutes, he's crazy. But the way he's shown in his you know what I mean, what he's been showing us, and it's very rare stuff that he shows us because he barely fights. He barely can make it to the fight. That's what he does. He gasses after the first round. Also, I don't think he's a true 185er against Usman. He looked like he didn't look, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and Usman's not a true 185er either.
That was Usman's first fight at 185. I want to say in the UFC. Even against Gilbert Burns, who was a smaller guy, that he was able to because he was a little bit smaller. But he's fighting a true middleweight, true champion within Robert Whittaker. I mean, we'll get to it, but yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, hell yeah. But we'll start from the bottom. There's actually a lot of fights on this card. There's I think 14 or some 13, 14 fights. So more than the 10 or 11 you usually get. But it's that Saudi money. So we go. But yeah, first off, we're going to start from the bottom here. I mean, this is a pretty solid card, I would say. We got Bruno Silva against Ismail Nardiev. You got Bruno Silva. We know this guy. He's starting to be around for a minute now. 23-11. 35 years old, 3-fight losing streak, bro. Never been knocked out though.
Well, last fight was a no contest, right?
No, well, they counted it as a loss to Weidman by unanimous technical decision.
I thought they changed it to like a no contest because the eye poke. Because remember, it was like we hit on the bet, and then
open it. I don't even remember.
Yeah, because remember we hit on the bet, and then later on they said no contest. So I don't know about like it says. Maybe it's
maybe I don't remember because we hit on the bet. It's all that matters. Like but yeah, man. His last 3 fights, his losses were Chris Weidman, Shara Magomedov, and Brendan Allen. And then last time he even won. Damn, he's only 1-5 in his last 6, bro. He only beat Brad Tavares. And then he lost to GM3 and, of course, Alex Pereira. Understandable.
Who's the guy he's fighting?
It is what it is. Huh?
Who's the guy he's fighting?
Ismail Nardiev, bro. Yeah, new guy, 23-7. He is from Morocco. He's a white Moroccan. 28 years old, man. I actually don't know too much about him, but it looks like he's pretty well-rounded, but mostly knocking fools out. His last fight, he came from Brave CF and won by guillotine. And then before that, he did lose his last 2 fights in Brave. So it's a mix. It looks like he's getting experience, but it's a mixed bag. Your boy Bruno Silva is actually the underdog. So we got Ismail Nardiev -170 right now and Bruno Silva +145. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm probably not going to bet on this fight, but by default, I think for me, the lack of knowledge I have on this kid here, Nardiev. Bruno Silva doesn't look great either, but he's had a lot better competition IMO. And at +145, I'm leaning that way just on value alone because I think Silva could crack. He could actually, even though he doesn't have submissions, I think he, naturally knows a little bit of BJJ and can hold his own. So we'll see, man. I'm probably not going to bet it, like I said, but yeah, for the sake of the show, I'm taking the value here. Bruno Silva +145.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet it either. It's Bruno Silva's sketch after you just ran down his record. So yeah, I would pick it just for the if I might get like degenerate and try to win some money early, maybe something on him. But yeah, sketch
get that
fight.
plus money, but sketch fight to start, but could be entertaining fight, because he's gonna throw bombs or get finished. That's kind of his style. So here was another entertaining ass one here. We got Ibo Aslan against Rafael Cerquera. Man, these are real prospects. Ibo Aslan, he's from the Contender Series. Big ass dude. He just does some crazy swinging punches. That's really the style he's at. Pure knockout guy. His only loss is from a submission by Anton Turkali. That's the pleasure man, right?
And he got his revenge, right?
Yeah, Turkali, he fought again in his UFC debut, and he knocked him out on the rematch in UFC. So, pleasure man wasn't getting pleasured. But then you got this prospect here, not well-known guy, undefeated, 34 years old though, bro. Also a striker mostly, but it looks like he could also get some submissions, so a little more well-rounded. But he's from a demo fight, which I'm not familiar with at all. But that's where he's been fighting most of his career, the demo fight. Yeah, this is another sketchy ass fight, man. I mean, I see the over 1.5 right now is at +110, and I know these guys do swing, but a lot of times when you put these two finishers in there, sometimes they don't be finishing each other, especially with these gloves. So I'm leaning on the over 1.5 at plus money. It's about a pick'ems right now. Aslan's a +100. So I mean, I saw Aslan, he won, but I don't like the way he is. I don't think he's that well rounded. So I lean over to Rafael Cerquera, and I guess I'll pick that for the show. But betting wise, I think I'm gonna go with the total over at plus money.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go with Ibo.
He does have more experience for sure. Ibo has way more experience. But yeah, sketchy guy. I don't know what's gonna happen if he doesn't knock this fool out. So we'll see. Ibo. Next up, man, we got a PFL guy over here. We got Renat Fakardinov against Carlos Leal. Man, this is crazy. Renat Fakardinov, 23-2, bro. He is another prospect, never been finished. Did look like he was gassing out in his last few fights, but he won a close split decision with Nicholas Dalby most recently. And before that, it was a draw against Elizu Zaleski, who's dead, right? R.I.P. to Zaleski. Am I tripping or is that somebody else?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look at this. Zaleski. What the fuck? Oh no, I'm tripping. This is not who I was talking about. Zaleski is not dead. Sorry, dude. Zaleski's alive, very alive. I'm thinking of the Canadian dude. But anywho, yeah, we got this guy here. He also beat Kevin Lee, Brian Battle in his debut. So I mean, he's a solid guy. He could grapple for sure, and he's been throwing a lot more powerful strikes. This guy's a beast too, bro. I mean, 21-5, only 30 years old, but he's one of those Brazilians that look way older than they actually are. Yeah, he's never been knocked out, but of course, his one little issue is that he's fighting in LFA, UAE, and then he's from the PFL, and a lot of people don't look at PFL in a high level when it comes to the early years of the PFL, especially. So, but he's fought some decent people. Lost to Sadabusi twice. Beat Ray Cooper, Delano Taylor, David Zawada, Chris Brown. So I think he's pretty decent. I mean, the odds are pretty crazy, and I'll share it here with you. Fakardinov, or no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Fakardinov is minus 255. Liao's plus 215, man. To be honest, I think Renat is going to wrestle and get him down. So I think I'm going to go with Renat here.
Yeah, what's the over?
255 sketchy. Oh, over is 2.5 and minus 200.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit less, but that's probably a good way. But minus 255 isn't bad though for Fakardinov. He's been in the UFC, been doing it. He still hasn't. When's the last time he lost?
Yeah, Fakardinov. He had 2 losses. His last loss was, where was this? All the way in, not even in UFC. He's undefeated in the UFC.
Yeah,
minus the draw, I guess. The draw with Zaleski, which was a banger.
That was a good fight, but yeah, I mean, Liao, he's tough. He's fought all the tough competition in PFL, but we'll see. It should be. I think it goes all 3. But yeah, I'd pick Fakardinov.
Yeah, the props aren't even out on Bet Online for that fight specifically yet.
Yeah, I think it goes all 3, or maybe if what's his name? Because even Liao's like not even like a knockout guy like that.
No, he'll throw bombs, but yeah, like he's not really like gonna. I don't think he's gonna knock out Renat either. So maybe you guys can look at Renat by decision. If you like that side, I don't know what the odds would be, but probably better than 255 or Renat as a parlay piece. I just don't think that they brought Liao because Liao took this on short notice too. So I don't think they brought him in, even though he does have some skill, like to beat Renat in Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying, on short notice. But like I said, this ain't the WWE. But yeah, I'm going with that as well.
Hey man, look at the last fight, the Smotherman and your boy White Kong.
Hey, yeah, dude. I know we didn't have a show on it, but like let's mention it real quick. There was 3 big underdogs that upset pretty much, right? Like you mentioned, Smotherman was one. He dominated the fight,
and I actually bet on Rob Font too.
Oh yeah, hey, there you go. Rob Font, another huge ass underdog as well. And then there was one more, I believe. I don't remember, but do you remember who? There was 3 of them.
No, I don't remember that. I just remember those 2. Because Jake Halley was like minus 600, and then so was
hell yeah,
the Matrix,
which was crazy. We talked about it, even though I thought Kyler Phillips was gonna win. It was like I was like the odds in my head. I was like the odds is too crazy. Kyler Phillips at minus 600, 500.
Yeah, and then like Rob Font, he only loses to like top 5, top 10 guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, shout outs to our girl Jocelyn Edwards, by the way. She was favorited, but still.
Yeah. She finally got a clear one, even though I fell asleep during that fight.
The first fight, bro, Robelis Despaigne.
Oh yeah, Trevor. But that one wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad of the odds were like he was like plus 140, right? Lane.
No, Despaigne was like minus 300.
Nah, it dropped though.
Maybe last minute, but yeah, like when I was looking the whole time, it was always around the minus 300, even more. Like someone was minus 330.
Oh yeah, I think. Hold on, I think you're right because I might be thinking about AJ McKee. He was like minus.
Oh yeah. That's more like that close of an odd. But yeah, man, Austin Lane is not that good. But at the end of the day, he was also big. He was 6'6", which was only an inch shorter, and then also the grappling. Like we knew, and you would think that Despaigne was able to like train a little bit on like trying to sprawl out, but
yeah, he's not. He just got exposed. He's not that good. Even like the striking was like looking kind of whatever. You know what I'm saying? When he was giving them chances, like them fat ass like over. Yeah, but who cares? So he's gonna have to prove himself doing something. But right now, it's like he should never be as juiced like that ever
He go to
again.
PFL maybe. Next up, man, we got Farid Basharat against Victor Hugo. Man, this is a big odds again. We were just talking about these big odds here. Of course, you got Basharat minus 600 right now. Victor Hugo plus 425. I mean, this kid. I mean, prospect him and his brother. He's
Yeah,
going
his
to be
brother
grappling.
just lost.
Yep, going to submission. He beat Taylor Lapilus and Clayton Rodriguez and Damon Blackshear, and then his 3 UFC fights, and now Victor Hugo's. Man, a lot of fights, man. 25-4.
This guy's raw though. He was on the contender, right? And then he fought once in the UFC.
Yep, his last fight was Pedro Falcao, and beat him by unanimous decision. I'm gonna be honest here, man. Of course, Basharat should be favored, and he's a prospect, and he should win in theory because of his grappling, his technique. But striking, man, I don't think his striking is that impressive. And this odds is way too big. We just saw a whole bunch of upsets, and not to say that means anything for this week, but I think the value has to be on Hugo, man. Like at that price, Hugo's capable. He's not better, but at these odds at plus 425, I think he's capable, and he's lightweight live. If you like Farid Basharat, I mean, you have to. What's by decision? Farid Basharat by points is minus 165. Like, if you bet on him, then you got to go that route, bro. There's no way you're laying minus 600.
He should outwork. He should outwork him though, most likely. But I think he can always get clipped. But yeah.
But for me, I mean, if I'm gonna bet, I'm betting on the underdog here. But as far as who I think is better, who I think wins, I think it's gonna be Basharat by decision. Obviously, not a hot take, but I think that's just the only way you could play it, bro. You can't lay minus 600 at this point, not in the UFC. And with these gloves, bro, at this point, I know it's not a crazy sample size, but we're getting more and more data, and like people are not getting finished like that as far as knockouts. I mean, there's some knockouts, but there really ain't as many like that. If you notice. So these gloves are getting sketchy.
But then I think the gloves. There's no problem with the gloves. I think it's just the fighters.
People getting better, or people getting
scared, or just the technique is just kind of like shitty too. You know what I mean? Like
getting
it's
shitty.
It's not crispy. Like because for like to knock somebody out, you could always go for that windmill bomb. You know what I mean? Whatever. But it's also you got to be able to like put shots together. You need to be doing jab, straight, left hook or some shit. You know what I mean? Some crispy shit. Like
you think a lot of that is pertaining to people now are grappling more? Like that's the style. Like everyone has to know how to grapple, and a lot of people's bases are grapple, and they pick up their striking later.
Yeah, well, I mean, also they've been doing like a lot of like unfavorable matchups. You know what I'm saying?
Sketchy shit.
Because like even look at the Fluffy fight with
that's Fluffy. Let's go
with Pereira. Like Pereira like hurt him in that first minute really bad, but then Fluffy was able to just take him down and put the will on him. You know what I'm saying? And like what's the name couldn't do nothing. Which that's pretty much how you could have seen that fight going if you couldn't sleep him early. But because this is like Pereira's never been past that first round, so.
I was watching that fight. And I was tripping because I put a big bet on.
Oh, he has been though. Never mind. Remember, he got beat by that white dude. Yeah.
And Fluffy was not. It was getting overwhelmed in that first minute. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I had bet on them. They had like how Bet Online has some of those like multiple prop ones put together. It was like most significant strikes, most takedowns, and finish. Yeah, I bet one on that one for Fluffy. It was like plus 225 or 250.
Hey, the rare props. BetOnline does have some rare MMA props.
Yeah, now they've been adding more too, especially for like football now too. They've been adding like the fantasy score now and shit like that.
Oh, that's rare. People really
yeah.
Hey, we got the rescheduled fight next right here, right? We got your boy Kennedy Nzechukwu, whatever. The African Savage against Chris Barnett, Beast Boy, Fat Barnett, as some people like to call him. This is a crazy size matchup and build matchup. We got Kennedy here, 12-5. I mean, he's been kind of honestly disappointing, but he's tall as fuck. He's 6'5", crazy reach, striker.
Fights like a little guy though.
Yeah. He lost to OSP by split decision and then lost to Dustin Jacoby by knockout. And then before that, he's only beaten Devin Clark, who's not in the UFC anymore, right?
Yeah.
Ian Cutelaba, who's low level in the UFC at this point, and then you got Carl Roberson, who's not in the UFC anymore. And then he lost it. Negru Nagano or whatever, Nikolai, some Canadian last name.
The way what's his name said it,
I
Joe
just didn't want to
Rogan.
say the wrong word on accident.
The way Joe Rogan said the name, like, Nigga
Yeah, whatever his name is, but he lost by split
That shit's
decision, and that guy's
hilarious.
not in the UFC. Dawoon Jung, lost to
It's a
Dawoon
whole lot
Jung.
of mid, but so is Chris Barnett. Chris Barnett's like terrible, just big ass dude. His fight against the one that he win where it got like a little viral and got fame against John Vellante. That was like John
Yes,
Vellante who's completely given up at heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Like
old and fat now. Like,
yeah.
look at this 23-8. Look at this fool's build, bro. Look at him like me.
See, back then, that's when he was like in kind of decent shape though, compared to now.
Compared now, yeah, he's old too. He's 5'9". He's 38 years old. You know what I mean? Like he's not even young. He was born in Spain. He was repping Spain. Now he's repping US.
Hey,
Florida specifically.
Vosotros,
boys. And then look at you were talking about like the guys that are washed, right? Jake Collier, he got fat Jake, not even like skinny Jake. He got fat ass Jake. He lost to Martin Budai, Ben Rothwell. So and he hasn't even fought that often. You know what I mean? So yeah. But let me tell you the odds. That's going to change everything. Kennedy is minus 700.
God damn, that's
and
like
Barnett is plus 500. So that changes the whole way I'm looking at it because I'm probably not betting on this. But I think the odds are way off. Like I'm not laying minus 700 with Kennedy for how disappointing he is. He should definitely win. But come on, dude. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, 700 on Njekwe is disgusting.
That's disgusting, bro. I'd rather lay my 700 on someone else, like even a woman.
Yeah, I might, or you could just do a for knock parlay with him and Ankalaev or some shit, something nasty.
I feel like there's other favorites that are big favorites that are better on this card. Even we already probably talked about it. Like honestly, I'm not betting on Fareed Basharat, but I feel like he's more of a minus 600.
He's more realer than his brother, though.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that shit is crazy. That's out of pocket. I guess for the pick, we gotta say something. And like I said, Kennedy should easily win this, outstrike him, reach everything. But betting wise, you can't. You gotta go with the Barnett or nothing or the total.
Yeah.
The total's at 1.5. Over 1.5 is plus 120. Maybe you go that route. Like it might finish early, but at plus money, I'm willing to go over at plus 120. Better than minus 700.
This is a sketch fight right here too.
It's sketch because Bet Online has a props for every fight except for that fight and the Carlos Leal fight. Right. So you already know, and this is a Tuesday. Next up, man, we got Abus Magomedov against Bruno the Hulk Ferreira. Man, this is interesting, man. We got Abus here, Magomedov, but he don't act like that. He's a striker, 26-6. 34 years old, bro. He's also was in the PFL, but he's been in the UFC for four fights already. He most recently beat Warley Alves, but he lost to all the high level people: Barajo, Sean Strickland, and then he beat Dustin Stolfus.
This is a sketch. This is a sketch fight. Go ahead.
Bruno Ferreira, 12-1 here. You got 31 years old, so he should be getting in his prime here. Obviously, he's a striker, knockout guy. He beat Dustin Stolfus with a spinning elbow. Phil Haas sucks, but Ruza Boev is the only one he's lost to. And then he even beat Hobocop.
Slept him.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big thing. But he's that type of guy, to be honest. Like he's gonna be either the guy that's gonna finish you or he's gonna suck if he doesn't knock you out.
But that's the thing. Abus is like he don't be looking like he got it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's easy to fold, and he got folded by somebody who never folds anybody, which is Sean Strickland. So like that's what it was like.
Hey, you put some respect on him. He folded. He didn't fold him, but he was getting Izzy.
But I'm saying though, like he don't really finish people like that. Like so.
The odds too, man. Magomedov is minus 130-ish, and then we got Ferreira at plus 115.
What's Ferreira by TKO? Oh yeah, you said, or is there props for it?
No, there is for this one. There's Bruno by KO is plus 225.
Yeah, I would probably go with that.
Yeah, I think that's the way you got to look if Bruno wins. I think he wins. He has to win by knockout. You know what I mean? And if you're getting over plus 200, that's a good solid look.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, for me, man, I like a boost here, man. I know neither of these guys are going to be champions in my opinion, but I think Abus has been disappointing against good competition. Every time it's like mid level, he's been able to at least perform, and I think this is a good spot for him, man. I'm going with Abus here at minus 130. I think that's a good look for me. But he's sketch if he fights anyone that's at like top 5 type of guys. No way. Prelims. We're moving on, bro. Another banger here. We got Mykabek Orabal against Mateus Rebecki or
Man,
Mataush.
how big
Rebecki.
of a favorite is Orabon?
You know, he is a big favorite. Let me double check here. I thought it was going to be closer in odds when I saw it, but he's minus 300, 310.
Nah, he's a beast, man. This is like best bet right here. Maybe what's the under?
Under over is 2.5. Over is minus 105. So it's pretty close.
What's submission for Orabon?
Orabal by submission is plus 500. That's a good look.
Yeah, yeah. What's the name is a dog, Rebecca. His last fight, remember he got the brakes beat off him. His face was like all swollen up. His picture was going viral. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Oraball all day. But I think by submission would be crazy. Might go with that.
Hey, that's the value there. Plus 500 when he's a minus 300 favorite. That's some good stuff. But Rebecca here, his nickname is Rabisti. That's weak. 19-2. He's 32 years old, man. He's in his prime, but he's 5'7". Interesting. He's well-rounded guy to be honest. But like you said, he lost his last fight by knockout against Diego Ferreira. And then he's only beat like mid-tier type of fighters or lower level guys. Roosevelt Roberts, not good. Razabov, he's middle.
No, yeah, and that's
Nick
and then
Fiore.
look who even like kicked his ass is Diego Ferreira, who's been kind of like
Yeah, he's like older in his career. He's kind of tail end of his career.
and he like beat him by striking. He's a jiu-jitsu guy.
Exactly. Beat him bad too. Then you got this guy right here who from Kyrgyzstan that we all kind of like said looked like an ancient human being. But he's only 26 years old, by the way.
Yeah,
he looks real old. That's crazy. But he's 5'10", so he's much taller as well. He could grapple, he could submission, he could strike, he could do it all, and he's also durable, which is huge. So I'm with you here, man. And he beat Elvis Brenner, and Elvis Brenner is solid. He's a dog. So
no, this guy's a beast, bro. Like ever since I seen him make his debut, where I bet against him on the Udos Medic, I was like, oh, I'm never gonna bet against this guy again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you here. I think he's a decent parlay piece at minus 310.
Fighting out of sack too.
Yeah,
Like,
even though he doesn't speak no English, probably, right? So
he just
a lot of those people.
Probably learning.
Yeah, the Sacramento gym. Shout out to Max, but they got some people in there that are
They're
foreigners.
like that, bro. Oh yeah. Now it's a lot of like Chinese people too.
Song speaks English at least a little bit. Yeah, that's a good one, bro. It's gonna be a banger for sure. But Orabal, he's gonna be the next truth. I think he's gonna be one of those prospects. That's gonna be solid. Next up, man, still the prelims. Bro. This is the headliner of the prelims. We got Jeff Neal, Rafael dos Anjos. This is kind of solid ass matchup. 15-6, bro. 34 years old. He just lost twice to the two were Ian Machado Gary and Shavkat Rakhmonov, which are like obviously top contenders in that division. He beat Luque Ponzinibbio, but then he lost to Magny and Thompson. So he's kind of, if you guys follow some type of patterns, it looks like he'll lose 2, win 2, lose 2. Maybe he's back on his win right now. And then you got the legend here, those Anjos, 32-16. Man. I mean, he's 39 years old, going on 40, and he's only fought the who's. I mean, he lost to Gamrot, who it was a close fight though.
Oh, sorry, what's his name was rocking him, hitting him with some good shots, but yeah, Gamrot just has that tank. You know what I'm saying? He could keep going and going. What was the loss before that?
Vicente Luque, he lost to.
Yeah, and that was just being undersized. That's why I don't like Dos Anjos at 170. He's always been undersized. Look at the guys he fought. He fought Kamaru Usman, Kobe Covington. Like, bro, really? You know what I'm saying? It's the 155 champion, and he's been fighting at 170. And I always feel like he's undersized. Jeff Neal, on the other hand, is kind of like a small 170, but he's a dog. Like the fight with Machado Gary, I mean, if he would have put the gas on it, like he probably could have maybe finished that fight by going in. It was a split decision, but yeah, it's all about if Rafael is better like grapple, but what's Jeff Neal by like TKO? Because he got them hands. If he throws, like I don't think Rafael's gonna be able to
He
take it now,
connects.
especially because he's so old now. I mean, he's so like
Yeah.
long in the tooth.
Yeah, Neal by KO is plus 210, and they got the most likely outcome as Neal by decision at plus 100. But he is a minus 300. But I mean, I like Neal here. I mean, Dos Anjos is always live in theory, right? Because he's such a legend. He's well rounded. But like you said, he's at the tail end of his career. Neal really needs to get back on track too, and he's still at the age where he can still fight, like contend in that division. But I am worried about the wrestling.
He got like mental block too. Like I don't know. He's like I don't know, something's wrong with him. Because even in that fight against Gary, he kept dapping him up and shit. Like instead of going for the kill, and then like he be side jobbing at like Texas Roadhouse, busting tables and shit like that. So it's like, yeah, they posted a picture of him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's me." He's like, "I just be bored."
Why don't you go train more?
So yeah, so it was like he kind of a head case sometimes. It's like it's gonna be really on Dos Anjos if he could try to just grapple that fight, maybe sub him.
Yeah. I don't love the odds, but I'm still saying Jeff Neal here. I mean, greasy parlay it for me. But yeah, Jeff Neal. But it's gonna be a banger.
I think the TKO is live if he like lets those hands go.
Yeah. Hey, that plus 210 though. That's good odds.
His hands are nasty when he be swinging the way he be doing. If he could connect with those Sanchos, it's a wrap. Especially because like that's like I said, long in the tooth.
Yeah. Next up, man, we got the main card starting up. We got the boy Shara Magomedov, the Bullet, against Armen Petrosyan.
Oh, this is the main card. Okay,
this is the start of the main card. Yeah. So it's a home crowd favorite. He's a Muslim, so people like that over there. So 14-0, man. He's a movie star as well. 30 years old, getting his prime. He also signed my glove. Shout out to Shara. But yeah, man, he's a knockout guy, kickboxer, man. He beat Michael Olazashek, Antonio Tricali. If you guys don't know who that is, Antonio is Mr. Dern.
Antonio Dern. What's other dude's last fights?
Petrosyan. This guy's kind of underrated, man. 8-3, 33 years old. He's also a striker as well. He lost to Rodolfo Vieira. You guys remember?
That's a grappling king, though. This isn't going to be a He doesn't have to worry about grappling on this fight.
Exactly. And then Christian Leroy Duncan, he beat, which is actually big because Leroy Duncan's a prospect, athletic ass prospect. He's almost like a mini Cyril Gane. You know what I mean? Like that type of vibe. Then you got AJ Dobson, he beat, who's like the Captain America, the Black Captain America. Falcon. What's his name? The Falcon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he lost to Kyle Barao. So he's fighting like
another grappler.
Yeah, another super grappler. So, it's going to be an interesting fight. And here's the odds. Let me show you this because I know you're not a big, you're not on the Bullet hype, right? Yeah, I know that. I mean, he hasn't looked great in his fights either. So it's like they got Magomedov at minus 140, 150. And you got Petrosyan at plus 120, 130. So to be honest, I'm siding with Petrosyan, but the reason why I haven't jumped on it yet is because they are, in Saudi Arabia. Magomedov is like pretty popular. I could see this being honestly even a bullshit decision.
It's Abu Dhabi, not Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, Abu Dhabi.
That's where he's popping at. Yeah, I think he's from there or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's a Russian Muslim or whatever. So he probably moved over there and live there.
I think so. Yeah. Man, I'm with you though. I'm just gonna chase the plus money on this. Shara, let's see. Like the fight against Olazashek, I was kind of like surprised. I thought Michael Olazashek was gonna be able to like do more damage, but this guy's like a full MMA fighter right here. Armen Petrosyan. It's all about if he don't get clipped. If he gets clipped, well, I mean, I feel like the Bullet, he ain't even like knocked nobody out yet, right?
Let's see. For someone that is supposed to be like this crazy kickboxer, man, he knocked out Tricali. That's it.
Okay, but that fight, he took that fight like what, 1 day's notice or a week notice or something like that, right?
Yeah, Tricali, and put up a pretty decent
And
fight. I
and he
remember.
had to. It was like in Abu Dhabi too, right?
Yeah, he had to fly out. I remember this because we follow Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, he took it a short notice, and he was doing all right actually at the beginning, and then he just like got tired, and then he got fucking knocked out
yeah,
after.
I'm gonna chase the plus and go with the Armenian.
Yeah, I'm with you too, man. I would take a shot on Petrosian. I think the value is definitely there, man. Um, Moving on, man. We got a kind of could be a banger, could be boring as fuck as well. We got this is a number one contender fight, essentially, right? For the belt. Whoever wins this is gonna
Maybe,
take the belt. Maybe.
maybe
Maybe if it's Rakic or maybe if it's Ankalaev, because they be playing him a lot too.
they don't want to give it to Ankalaev.
No, they don't. This is like, what else does he have to do? He honestly, as much as like I like Jan as a person, but he should have won that. Like he clearly beat Jan.
Yep, I was at
That
that
shit-
fight too, and left
yeah,
before they even announced the decision. I was like, "Oh, fuck this!" And then I'm walking down the concourse, and I'm looking, and it just says draw. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I remember in the middle of that fight, Dana White like they announced that Jamal Hill was fighting for the title against Glover. Like towards the end of that fight, they announced that like on the broadcast.
shit's wild. This fool, man, he looked like a vampire hunter, Abe Lincoln type of vibe got going on. If Abe Lincoln was Muslim. But yeah, 19 and 1, man. 1-1. And he's well rounded. He could strike. People think of him as a grappler, but he's actually knocked a lot of people out. A lot of ground and pound as well, but he's never been knocked out. He's never lost a decision. But look at the people he's fought. I mean, they're pretty decent at this point. Johnny Walker, he knocked out, but that's whatever.
He fought
You
him
got
like twice, right? And then
the first one was a no contest. Then you got Jan Blachowicz being a draw, but like we just talked about, he damn near won. And then we got Anthony Smith, who's whatever. Thiago Santos, kind of washed, but this was back in 2 years ago. He's washed. Volkan, Ion, Krylov. So like he's fought a variety of both strikers, grapplers, a mix of both. I feel like at this point in his career, and he's been, pretty much a chip on his shoulder, obviously, about like, oh, he should be champ, and like he can't lose now. If he loses this, you think he's gonna get a title shot? Probably not.
I mean,
So,
maybe if they want just to make Pereira fight, but at the same time, I don't think they don't really care for this guy. It's hard to market because he also is like doesn't speak English. Sometimes he fights like you said he be TKO, but sometimes he just like takes the whack way out or just doesn't look like doesn't look too dominant. So,
yeah,
but I
exactly.
feel like in this fight, like Rakic always gonna have his striking, and I always think Rakic is phony, is like myself. So I feel like even if Akalai is in trouble with the striking, he's just gonna be able to take him down.
Yeah, here's the odds though, which is the great equalizer. You got Ankalaev minus 360 right now, and then
Nah, yeah,
Rakic plus 285. So that sucks because
yeah.
I think the odds should be closer, but I'm still not firing on Rakic. I think Ankalaev is gonna win. I think he could win in many different ways. So I'm not gonna
No,
try to guess.
yeah. I mean, I think the minus 300 is fair for this fight.
Yeah, throw that in the greasy parlay and
No,
sweat it
yeah,
out.
because
The under over is 2.5. The over is minus 190. 2.5.
yeah,
So,
Rakic coming off that fight where he got it was a decision though, right, against Yuri.
no, Yuri knocked him out. He was
Yeah, he
arguably Yuri
TKO'd
was
him, right?
losing.
Yeah, he was getting his ass kicked. But he was doing that on purpose. He said because he wanted to show him that he couldn't do nothing to him. 'Cause remember, like that was like what he was saying after. This was at UFC 300. Yeah.
Yeah, we were there. I put a big bet. That was my big bet on it, and
Yeah.
I
See,
was like worried,
and
obviously.
I thought Yuri should have been the favorite for that. That's why I was like, oh, this is like the lock of the night for sure.
Yeah, man, that shit was pretty crazy. But two fight losing streak though. Even though they're great fighters that he's lost to, but that's still 2 fight losing streak. He is gonna have to win, and he's kind of maybe desperate, to kind of get in the title picture. Like you're right. Like if he wins this, I don't think he deserves a title shot. I think he needs to win one more.
No, yeah, but I don't think Ankalaev is gonna lose. Like, cause Ankalaev is another one. He's like a Russian Muslim too. So this is like a home fight too.
Yeah, I'm going with that fool as well. Oops, I went too far. Next up, man, we got what do we have here? Okay, we got Lerone Murphy against Dan 50K Ige. Let's go. The bruv here, 14-0-1, 33 years old in his prime. He's a grappler, but he likes to do ground and pound. or he's going to strike and try to knock you out. He has no submissions, which, I mean, Dan Ige is not really going for submissions like that.
No, not at all. Who was the last fight against? It was against
Dan Ige?
Lerone Murphy.
Oh, he beat Edson Barbosa.
Yeah,
and then he beat
but
Culibao and then Gabriel Santos.
But against Barbosa, it was kind of a sketch fight. Barbosa was clipping him later on there. And the thing about Ige, he's short and stocky and he could clip you, but it's all about the takedown. You know what I mean? If Lerone just fights like a takedown fight, it's gonna be rough for Ige in this fight. Because I mean, like, remember he took the last fight with 2 days notice against Diego Lopez, which is crazy. Goated.
Exactly. The odds on this fight here, we got Lerone Murphy minus 260, Dan Ige plus 220. So that's the one thing that got me, because when I first saw this matchup, I am actually a big Lerone Murphy, like not fanboy, but like I'm on the train of like him being a prospect and now like a contender, but we've also seen him get tired, get gassed, and I don't think Dan Ige is going to get gassed, especially now he has an actual like plan, a training camp. Like, and he was looking good, arguably, in that 4-hour notice.
He gave Lopez way more issue than what Brian Ortega did.
Exactly. And I mean, Lerone Murphy's going to have to end up grappling and trying to take Dan down. I would argue, this is a little different style, but I would argue that I think Diego Lopez is more dangerous on the ground and more dangerous on taking him down, but maybe he's not a pure wrestler like Murphy is. Murphy like wants to actually wrestle and ground and pound. I don't think Murphy's he's definitely not going for submissions when he's on the ground.
What's Lerone Murphy's undefeated, right?
Yeah.
What's him by decision?
Lerone Murphy by points minus 140.
Yeah, I think that's how he would win.
It's the only way he wins.
And you never know. Yeah, I feel, or maybe, I don't know. I hope Ige would like be able to take it home, but I don't think he would be able to take it home. It would be him have to bully in Lerone Murphy, but I think Murphy might have the more athleticism on him and be able to like take him down and make it kind of whack.
Yeah, so this is how I played it. Yeah, I originally put a little money here. I actually caught Lerone Murphy by points at minus 125, and even at minus 140, I was still kind of taking. But I also tried to put a little back and to cover some of my losses, almost like a mini hedge on Dan Ige by KO plus 525.
Yeah,
because I think Ige's live to knock him out. Ige, has the power to do it, and at plus 5 over 500. I think there has to be value there on that prop. They're saying it's more likely that Murphy is going to KO than Dan is going to KO, because Murphy by KO is plus 485. So I don't like that.
Odds, but I think his decision though if he wins.
Yeah, it has to be. That's like that. I think that's the only way he can win, to be honest. Like, seriously. So, and Dan's going to KO. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I think Murphy could grind his way decision, but I think Dan's super live. I don't blame anyone for taking a shot on him as far as big underdog, especially at a knockout at over plus 500. Yeah, give me some of that.
Yeah. I'm rooting for Ige, but I just feel like Lerone Murphy is going to be like too kind of technical and stuff like that, because like he's not going to be able to, like the way Ige slept Andre Fili, who likes to get slept a lot. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like, and he's the bruv. I feel like the bruv's going to be out there. The athleticism.
The bruv. Yeah, he's explosive and athletic.
It's the bruv, the bruv versus the brother. Or you could just go Hawaii parlay. Because he gets from Hawaii, but he lives in Vegas now.
The 9th island.
Yep, the 9th island.
Now we're getting to the co-main events. These are some banger ones, bro. It's gonna be Robert Whittaker back again against Khamzat Chimaev. And this is a
Borscht.
That means wolf, right, in his language?
Some bullshit.
Whittaker, man, obviously everyone knows him, legend. And he's only 33 for like someone that's been around for so long and fought the who's and been champion. But yeah, he upset against Ikram Aliskerov. He beat Paulo Acosta. He lost to DDP. We were there. Crazy. And he was a big favorite there. And then he beat Marvin Vettori. And he's only lost to Izzy twice. Like, that's his lightweight was his kryptonite. But I mean,
the Duplessis loss was crazy.
Yeah, that's true, because he was a big favorite against Duplessis. That was a defining moment for Duplessis as far as like being mainstream. Like, okay, everyone knows he's good now, Like the secret's out, super out now. You know, it's not even a secret no more. But yeah, man. I mean,
You
there's
said
not
he's
much
you
to
said he's
say.
out.
Oh, he's out of the closet, kissing his coach and shit,
Getting his dick
getting tugged.
grabbed by his coach. That's crazy.
It's
That's
like dick
crazy.
grab. Like that's just the game. But yeah, man, I know Khamzat Chimaev. What a polarizing guy. I mean, you got a lot of people that are on the hype train, and then you got a lot of people that are not, definitely against the hype train. You know, understandably, bro, because he is a beast and he's well rounded, but like you said, he gets sick. He's not even on there all the time. He's still undefeated though. That's
He's
one
still
thing that's true.
undefeated. Uh,
Yeah.
I've seen him in person. I've seen him in action. I was at the Kevin Holland fight, which is supposed to be Nate Diaz, but ended up being Kevin Holland. But Kevin Holland, who has like his wrestling isn't so good, you know, and he's a 185er, but he should be fighting at 170 at all times. You know what I mean? Just because he's so slim. And that was a crazy fight. They were scrambling for that first minute. That's the thing. Comes out that first minute to 2 minutes, 5 minutes is like a demon. Like he's gonna like the way he was doing to Usman, he was smothering him with the jujitsu and stuff like that. So I mean that's the thing. Like what we were saying earlier, like Rob is a true middleweight. This is the first time he's fighting a real middleweight and also a champion. That's still, on any day he can fight for the belt and nobody would say, okay, yeah, I disagree. So this is like a big step up in competition for Chimaev, and then also with so much what's it called? Like Russ. Like this fight was
Mhm.
supposed to happen in June already before, and then he fought that Aris Karov and slept him, which we hadn't seen
Yeah.
a Whitaker sleepage in a while. So that was a good one. That was a good one.
And you remember Chimaev said since he was getting sick, now they said I heard this training camp and he's been doing his more like in nature and in the forest and more like, not around hell of people at a gym, like teammates and
Yeah.
stuff. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but here's the odds. Chimaev's a minus 240 right now. And you got Whitaker plus 210. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a trap and I'm falling for it, but and I've actually been a Kamzat fan. You know that. Like you haven't been, but I've
Yeah.
been hyping it up as well. So it's like I gotta go Whitaker here. The value at plus 200 or better is just to me too good to pass up. And even if I lose with Whitaker at plus 200, I think I could live with that.
Yeah.
Like to me, whereas like I would never feel good with Chimaev Kamzat ticket like minus 240. You
When's
know
the
what I mean?
last
Like
time? When's the last time Whitaker got some subbed? Has he ever been subbed in the UFC?
you Whitaker here. He has been subbed. Let's see when. That was way back. He got subbed by. Oh, that was way back against Hoon Him, who was 8-8 in Legend FC. So in the UFC, he's never been subbed.
Okay, yeah. See, that's the thing. If I feel like if Kamzat can't sub him in the first round or something like that, I think Whitaker's gonna be able to get the decision or maybe TKO him because that's the thing. This is the first, as also the first 5 round fight. They made this a 5 round fight, and we've never seen Chimaev
Kamzat.
go five. You know what I'm saying? Like in the Gerbo Burns fight, he was gas in the second where Burns was like picking you know, taking off on him. I feel like Burns was a bigger dude. He'd be able to take him out, but Kamzat was able to like out muscle him too, like in the third when he was just exhausted, just take him down, just use his body weight on him because he was a bigger like 170
Yeah.
because I was at 170 or 180 when he
No, that
fought.
was
I
at
was at
170.
170. Yeah.
Yeah, Gilbert Burns would never fight at 185, right? So
I mean, he would be down.
he'd be down now. Like now that he's 40.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I got to go with Whitaker as well. I get I mean, I see the Kamzat hype, but this is gonna be like the truest tell. Like if Kamzat can get Robert Whitaker out of there, it's like okay, he's gonna get a title fight no matter what. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see. But
Yeah.
for sure going with Bobby Knuckles. What's Knuckles by TKO or decision?
Let's see here. Whitaker by points is plus 600 and by KO is plus 250. So they think he's going to knock him out most likely out of all the things ways he wins. Yeah, man.
I might sprinkle on the decision,
Yeah,
but I
or
feel
plus.
like just the exhaustion might get Kamzat.
Yeah, and especially if he's not 100% healthy, he's been sick and like a weird type of sickness, like severe sickness. So,
His lungs and shit. Yeah. Like
yeah,
I remember
exactly. So, and every time, like you said, you brought up all those fights and examples about Kamzat like even though there were 3-round fights, everyone saw the projectile of like if there was 2 more rounds, he was on the decline, like he was going down. So and then now it's against someone that actually has fought 185 his whole career pretty much and has hung
and
with these guys.
has gone 5 rounds, like all the time.
Exactly. So it's some real shit. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I think the value's too good to pass. Even at plus, I have the line like more like plus 130 Whitaker, like 120, 130. So you tell me plus 200, like give me
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Oh man, that it's gonna be a banger. Now we got the main event, who's a banger. Man,
Yeah,
this is a good one. We got the Matador who has the dope shorts against the brother here, but Ilya Topuria, the champ, against Max Holloway. The best is blessed. Hey, but yeah, man, get your Hawaiian food ready. Get your masubis. Get your fucking mac salad.
get your moco loco for
Yeah.
breakfast.
Oh, that's
You're
a perfect one, man. 7 a.m. Loco Moco, brother. A little mahalo. But yeah, man, we got this is I don't know, man. This is a banger fight, but of course, as a Max fan, it does concern me a lot because one, this fight is at 145 for the belt, and we did see a great Max Holloway, but that was at a higher weight, 155. He looked great, but he's still young, 32 years old, man. That's crazy, bro.
He's
There's no way
32, but
we're older than Max.
he's 32, but in dog years though.
Yeah, he's like 45 in 5 years.
Bro, he's yeah, he's been through the ringer and has been doing it since a youngster too. Like another one since he's been in there since he was like 20 or 21, right? So like he's grown up in the UFC. Like you were saying earlier, the way he looked against Gaethje in that BMF fight, that was another 5-rounder fight, and Max, you could say he won almost every round like it was nothing, and then
Yeah,
decided to do the point down 10 seconds and give Gaethje a chance at the end and ended up sleeping him. So
and we were
yeah,
there.
we were there too, man. UFC 300, unbelievable. That shit was crazy. I recorded that moment too. I have it on my phone, which is kind of crazy. And then yeah, bro. Yeah, I got to go with Max off top. I can't go against him. Even at 145, I don't like it. Also in Abu Dhabi, he took a L to Volk in Abu Dhabi, but it was kind of sketch. I thought he beat Volkanovski. Damn near 2 fights in Abu Dhabi, right? Against Volk or no?
Volk, let's see which one this was. I don't even tell you here.
Because he
Don't
fought
know.
Volk 3 times, right?
Yeah, lost every time. One by split though. One was a split decision loss. Painful pain. Yeah, they fought 3 times, and man, and here's the odds for you even more, right? This is similar to the last fight, kind of. But Max is plus 200 and Topuria is minus 235.
Damn.
So
I mean, Topuria slept Volkanovski after he did lose that first round.
ease.
Yeah. But he lost the first round, so you wouldn't say with
Yeah.
ease, you know what I mean? He just got caught in the crossfire, but he made it look easy at the end with those couple punches. Boom, boom. Also, we don't know if that could have been already the end of Volk. Like the Makachev fight might have solidified it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got slept from Makachev, then fought. Maybe went into camp too soon. How suspect was his chin? Maybe he's already just done. Volk's been fighting forever. I mean, that's the same thing what could happen with Max. I don't like him at. That's the only thing that sketched to me is the 145. Like
Yeah, that's the
you,
biggest thing, and I haven't bet that because of
you,
it yet.
you look so great against Gaethje, who's top 5, top 3 at 155, and dog. You could say dog Gaethje, and then you come out like Skeletor for 145, where you look like shit, but also sometimes you look like him at 145. If it goes all 5, I think that's Max's fight for sure. Maybe it never been finished, so like I don't know if Topuria can finish Max, that'll be insane. But yeah, I gotta go with Holloway, bro. The best is blessed, like your shirt.
Yeah, man. This is the crazy thing because Topuria, like he's an asshole, like as far as a fandom goes, like to me, he's easy to hate and be, that asshole guy, even though skill wise, he is good, he got power, and arguably he's probably the hardest hitter in the division right now, right? So
I mean, yeah, and I mean you could just because like we don't know how sketched the Volk finish was, you know what I mean? Because look who Look who he didn't finish was Bryce
Emmett.
Mitchell. He didn't finish Bryce Mitchell. He didn't finish the Emmett that went on 5. He
He subbed
finish?
Bryce Mitchell, but yeah, he didn't
Oh,
knock him out.
that's a good that's even more of a feather in his cap. And also, who's the little dude who be doing the leg locks against like
Who? Oh, David Jackson or Ryan Hall?
Ryan
Oh,
Hall?
yeah. Those two guys are kind of similar in gayness.
Yeah.
So-
So like, he's been there. Like Max is fought like already the who's who, bro. Like I mean, the big feather in the cap was the Volk, of course, slip, but like people were questioning Volkanovski. Like was it too soon? You
Mhm.
know what I mean? You fought too soon to fight Islam already on like was it like a 2 weeks notice or something like that, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get to another camp, and then against this young guy and get knocked out. So I don't know, but Topuria's like, I guess you could say he's the rightful favorite. Max is just super live.
Yeah, Max. I mean, Max is always live, right? Like he's a dog, and he's gonna fight for your money always. So that's why the plus 200 does look very appetizing when I first looked at it. And I'm a fan, obviously, and I would love to see him win. Uh,
I feel like
but
Topuria's gonna grapple though, huh? Like
yeah,
wrestle.
and kind of showcase that piece. Maybe he does that when he starts getting pieced up by Max too. But yeah, like Topuria, he just got the momentum right now. He's the champ. He's looking good as far as pause, but as far as just
Never's been 5 round, never been 5 round either, too. So right.
yeah, the experience obviously Max got that. The resume, the dog. He probably he's a better dog. Like he's just got that dog in him. Like you said, a lot of mileage, even though he's still young, not Volkanovski old, but mileage wise, he's been in the UFC even longer than Volkanovski. So it's like this is pretty crazy, and I just think that there's something fishy to this line, like Max at plus 200, where I don't get that sense with the Whitaker matchup, right? I hate to say it, but I have to pick Topuria here. Am I in love with the minus 235? No, not really. I think, yeah, maybe the odds should be probably a little closer because Max Holloway is the truth. But like you said, I think the difference here for me that has made me sketched out in this whole thing is just that weight. So I haven't bet this fight yet, but I'm gonna wait and see what the fuck the weigh-in is gonna look like because I gotta see Max's. Every time we see Holloway at 145, yeah,
No,
like you said,
he's a
skeleton.
walking skeleton. They even had to stop a fight because he was like not making sense talking. His brain was seeming it was off.
And he already talks the way he talks with the Hawaiian accent, so it's already like
Yeah.
sketch.
Yeah, people were like worried about him for a minute. They're like, damn, like he's been getting hit too much. And then he came back with like a stellar performance and everybody just shut the hell up. So
How come no one was worried about Darren Elkins this past weekend when they were interviewing him and he was the way he talks, bro? That's CTE talk, guaranteed. Like that's crazy. But yeah, I got to go with Topuria here. Unfortunately, I just think he's going to pull this out. I feel like when I weigh it all out, I have a lot less actually question marks on the Topuria fight in this matchup. Like the Topuria side, I don't have a lot of questions. Like I feel like a lot of my questions, minus like you said, the 5-rounder maybe, right? He's never been through that, but I never questioned his cardio. Like I've never had a moment where I've questioned Topuria's cardio or anything like that. But he's never fought anyone like Holloway where he had to be put through the ringer because, like you said, in Volkanovski, he might have lost the first round, but once he felt that first round, like, okay, I might have not won or I was close, he turned it up quick. And he was just so I think the IQ is there. He understands, certain situations. And like you said, you get the belt, you get a little bonus boost, the stuff can't even measure. We don't know. It's just that champion boost. So
what's his name just got a belt too?
Who?
Holloway.
Oh, the BMF belt. You're right. So BMF. Will not be for the BMF belt.
Which even made Topuria go buy a phony BMF belt and has been posing with one and shit. It's like,
he just bought like one of the replica.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, it's gonna be a good one, man. I think there's some value here. Maybe it's a dog day because there's been some favorites that have been cashing the last couple weeks here. So maybe it's a dog time, but because there's some big favorites. But we got to hit them with the best bets, man. Hit them with the back. Ride the momentum in Saudi. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a straight up bet with Armin Petrosian.
Okay, Petrosian here. What was he at?
Straight
Plus
up bet.
130.
Yeah, straight up bet with Max. The best is blessed, brother.
Oh, getting that plus money, Max at plus 200.
And then another dog right here, Whitaker, Bobby Knuckles.
Oh yeah, plus 210. All right.
And then I'm gonna do like a little nasty parlay with the big favorites with the Oraball,
Yeah.
Jeff Neal,
Mhm.
uh man, I hate to say it, but Lerone Murphy,
Murphy's Law.
and then yeah, we do them three.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on the Whitaker, man. I think that's too good to pass up. Whitaker plus 210. We got a lot of questions on the Kamzat side. That's huge. What was the other one I liked here? Not Barnett. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, I like let's do maybe a total. Oh, Abus. That's the one. Abus Magomedov at minus 130. I like that one. And I like the favorites. I guess I'll throw the greasy one out now. Greasy one for sure. I'm going Orabal as well. I'm going parlay it with what's the one? Fraknadinov, Renat. And third leg on that one, I'm gonna throw in my other boy here. I guess Jeff Neal. Oh no, Magomedov Ankalaev. Yeah, fuck it. Throw Jeff Neal in there too. Neal. Magomedov Ankalaev.
Yeah, Neil. Oh shit, I didn't throw Neil in my favorite one too, but I would put him in there too.
Oh, you did. You,
Oh,
you had
okay.
Orabad, Neal, and Murphy.
Yeah.
Ankalaev, Renat.
Oh yeah, Ankalaev too. That's what I meant.
Oh, you want to throw him in there? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
throw him in my shit too, just because I feel like Rakic is.
uh,
I'm not a Rakic guy.
yeah, and we saw that it seemed like he lightweight had pillow hands for
That's
that
what
division.
that's why what's his name said. Here, that's why he did that to show that he can't do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and I owe y'all one more here. I guess I'll throw a top. Okay. Here we go. I think I'm just gonna have to throw it out there just for that bit. Dan Ige plus 220, bro. Oh my goodness. How about this? Dan Ige, I'll throw Dan Ige knockout plus 525.
I like Orabal submission too. That's what I'm gonna do, like a little sprinkle on my own time. Just giving y'all a bonus look because
Bonus.
that's that plus 500, right? That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, any of these sprinkles, man. I mean, yeah, it's worth the sprinkle when the value's there. It's just as long as you're okay with losing, most of
Yeah,
the time you
hey,
hit it.
that's betting though. That's gambling.
As long as you get the right odds, yeah. But yeah, hopefully we come through, man. This is gonna be a good card. I'm glad. You know how I feel about these early morning cards. I feel great about them. I'm even that guy that wakes up for that 6 a.m. fucking England game, so for NFL. So
I'm
7
hot.
a.m. to me is like, all right, it's okay.
I'm trying to sleep in now. I gotta get up.
But yeah, man, until next time, man, smoke out because the boys are back. Peace.
Smoke it.